Guys, the greatest movie reviewer in the world here. I can't do that with a straight face. I am the Film Attackers, and today I will be talking about horror comedy. But before I do that, stay tuned to the video. I have a big announcement about the movie that I'm writing and filming. So stay tuned for that. What makes a good horror comedy? Well, first off, if you can nail it, props to you. Horror comedy to me is one of the hardest genres to do because not only are you combining, to me personally, two of the hardest genres to do as well, horror and comedy, and you're just mashing them together. And to me, it's hard because you have to not only scare the audience, have good scares, but also keep the laughs coming. And next to me, I have four perfect examples of good horror comedies. So without further ado, let me get into my examples, and I'm going to explain why they're good horror comedies. So first off, I want to start off with a seasonal horror comedy, Krampus. This is a Universal film starring Adam Scott, and to me, this had the perfect blend. Now, you may say, well, that's more of a comedy than horror. Not necessarily. To me, not only does the monster design make up for the comedy, but it does generally have a good scares. I remember the scariest scene from the movie was the scene where the girl's walking down the street and you just see Krampus jump on the roof. You're staring at her. And as she's running, you see Krampus jumping from roof to roof to roof. And when she finally hides underneath the car, Krampus jumps on top, jumps next to the car, puts a present down, and then goes away. And then you see the Jack in the Box playing, and you see it open, and the Jack in the Box thing slowly come up, and then you see her get eaten. That scene was fucking scary. There was no comedy in that. That was just pure holy fucking shit. But yes, I do think the comedy in this is good, especially with the gingerbread man scene, and especially the actress who played Bird and Smith. Man, I can't remember her name right now. She plays in this movie, and she is the funniest person in this whole entire movie. And she's pretty offensive. I'm like, no ham? What are you, a Jew? But this is one example. I watch it every Halloween and every Christmas. I love Krampus, and I shoot. Honestly, I watch this more. I actually watch this outside of Halloween and Christmas because I love the movie so much. Anyway, next up we have Zombieland. A great. I have. Well, this is probably one out of the two zombie horror comedies that I have. That should be a big hint about what the other one is. Zombieland is a zombie horror comedy starring Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and Abigail Brissino. I don't want to pronounce her name because she is really good in this. But not only do you have great humor in this, just like in Krampus, but you also have great scares. The whole hot chick from the other room with Jesse Eisenberg when she comes to his room for help and she turns to a zombie, he has to fight her off. That scene was pretty intense. Ending scene where they're in the amusement park, great fucking scene. And not only that, the fucking makeup design for the zombies was so damn good. The gore was so damn good. And the humor's there. Bill Murray playing as himself, disguised as a zombie was fucking hilarious. The Woody Harrelson's or Tallahassee's hunt for a Twinkie was hilarious. Him getting pissed and kicking the snowballs. That's what makes this such a great horror comedy. And it doesn't go too far in the. It doesn't have too much horror. It doesn't have too much comedy. It's right in the middle. Yin yang. And I really do feel like while this isn't the best movie I've ever seen, it's still funny and it still has the horror. So that's why I put it in here. Next up, some people may disagree with me. They may say, "Oh, that's a pure horror film." I disagree. It's Cabin in the Woods. Then to me, this is a horror comedy due to the premise. It is literally about the typical stereotypes going into a cabin in the woods that underneath the cabin in the woods is this big facility that literally their job is to trick kids to going there, killing them all off. Well, except for the virgin, she is optional, but their whole job is to kill them off, to please the gods. If that's not a comedy, I don't know what is. And the humor is there, especially with the character of Marty. basically, who is the stoner character. And they definitely play with the horror movie tropes in interesting ways. It's like with, all the characters smart. They did not see that coming, so to make up for this, they just made him purely dumb by pumping gas into the cabin. And then Chris Hemsworth, who's in the movie, instead of saying, let's stick together and, we'll search through the cabin, he goes, breathes in the gas. I changed my mind. Let's split up. And you see Marty just over there go, what? Which is a horror comedy to me. And not only that, it has great monsters. It has great, production design. Like, the whole cabin was creepy, but the underground facility was really well done. And the whole ending scene where he released, well, spoiler alert, in 3, 2, 1. Skip ahead about a minute and well, I can't really give it as many times as I want to talk about the ending of Cabin in the Woods. He releases all the monsters and kills everybody in the underground facility. And I love that scene because you just see nothing but blood go everywhere and shit. And it's fucking hilarious. But to me, I think the actors really know what they're doing. They bring the humor in this. And it's just funny to see all the horror movie cliches come out because someone's controlling the cliches. And that's what makes it a comedy, and that's what makes it a great horror film. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I have what, to me, is the greatest horror comedy ever made. Shaun of the Dead. This is a older movie. This stars Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and was directed by the ever so great Edgar Wright. This movie, a lot of people are going to say it's more of a comedy. I can see that. But it's kind of like Zombieland, It's on zombie horror comedy, and I really, really love the way Edgar Wright directed this. So it's about a man named Shaun who is he's stuck in his ways. He has a dead end job. His girlfriend left him, and his roommate's a man child. So he's been thinking, how am I going to get my girlfriend back? Because he's just so heartbroken. Boom, out of nowhere, zombie apocalypse hits. And now he has a chance to prove himself to his girlfriend, Liz. And the whole movie is basically, great makeup design. Because I think this movie came out in 04, 05. Has great makeup design, has great gore effects, while keeping the laughs coming. With Nick Frost, who's Ed in the movie, is the funniest character in the whole entire movie. Just the funniest. And Simon Pegg, when them two are on the screen together, you can see that they're real best friends, like they're really good best friends in real life because they just have great banter off of each other. And I really do feel like Shaun of the Dead is a classic horror comedy, and I love it. I would have included Young Frankenstein, but that's more of a comedy than horror. But I do love Young Frankenstein. Don't get me wrong. I do think it's a great Mel Brooks film. So anyway, guys, that was this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And next, I'm going to do just the pure horror genre and tell you guys what makes a good horror film, in my opinion. So to the announcement, real quickly, the Blue Flowers and Sea of Thorns movie that I've been writing will start filming at the end of this year, but it will not end until 2021. The reason why I'm doing this is that I have limited money, and I want to make sure this movie is as perfect as possible. And honestly, the movie spans over 2.5 years, so I figured, why not just film it in 2.5 years to show everyone's progression in age, show different facial hair and all that. I wanted to do that, and it will begin filming probably in October to December, and it will end on probably June or July of 2021. So keep that in mind. I've been really wanting to do this, and I hope you guys really enjoy the movie. They're really working hard on it. And I'll upload it for 48 hours on YouTube for you guys to watch it, give me your feedback. I'll go back, reshoot, re-edit, and I'll re-upload it for 24 hours. You guys can see what the final product was, because I'll be uploading the rough draft of the movie into YouTube for 48 hours, so you guys can watch and give me pointers. And once I get it perfectly down, I will be sending it to Sundance Film Festival to see how critics react to it. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys probably today with another video, because I'll be uploading the horror genre next.